basic concept. I mentioned this earlier in the definition of Robbins, where it was the most acceptable definition. We have the concept of want, of scarcity, of choice, of scale of preference, and of course of opportunity costs. So we started to pick them one after the other. What is want? Wants are human desires, human wishes, what you wish to have, what you desire to get. These are your wants. Now, wants in economics can also be termed as ends. Ends, as you can see that in the definition of Robinson. So we believe in economics that human wants are unlimited or limitless, which means human want has no end. As you are satisfying one particular want, the next one is rising. So you keep wanting and wanting and wanting and wanting. If there's an English like that, pardon me to use it. So you keep wanting or the other. Look at that language. Wanting or the other. So human wants are unlimited. I would say they are insatiable. The insatiability of human want does not mean you cannot satisfy your wants, but it means you cannot satisfy all your wants at the same time. When we say insatiable of human wants, the insatiability of human wants does not mean that you cannot satisfy your wants, but it does mean that you cannot satisfy all your wants at the same time. Insatiable. All your wants cannot be satisfied at the same time because they are so numerous. That's another language we use. You can see all these things in economics question. OBJ. Numerous, limitless, unlimited. Talking about human wants. Okay? Good. We come to scarcity. The word scarcity oftentimes are being misused to mean not available. Not available. But I beg to differ. In economics, when we say scarcity or we apply the concept scarcity, we are talking about limited. Limited nature of our resources, limited resources. And these limited resources oftentimes is in correlation to the unlimited wants. So in economics, when we say something is scarce, does not mean it's not available. Such item is available, but the quantity available cannot go around or be sufficient enough for the number that desire it. So limited resources here, or scarcity, is talking about insufficiency. Insufficiency. Okay? Not enough. Okay? So it's not talking about not available. Now. It's talking about not enough. It's available, but not enough. Insufficient. Limited. Particularly in reference, in relation to the want, which are what? Unlimited. I hope you get me right. Please take note. And that is why when he was talking about the economics definition, Robinson, he was talking about in relation between ends and scarce means. Your resources only become limited when you compare with what your limited wants. And that's why we have the general philosophy saying what? In economics, limited resources, chasing after unlimited wants. Are you with me? Very well. Show you with me. Let's see. Concept of scarcity. When the available resources is not enough, is not sufficient in comparison or in relation to what? To these unlimited, unending, numerous wants. And because of this problem of limited resources, we need to do what? To make choice. The concept of choice is talking about choosing between or among alternatives. Choosing between or among alternatives. Remember what Robinson said, which has alternative uses. And I told you when I was explaining that definition, that has already pointed to what? Act of choice. Okay? And you and I know that once you make choice, you have left something behind. What you have left behind is called what? Opportunity cost, which is the next concept. But for you to make choice, there's a need for you to draw a table that will help your choice making process easier. And that's what we call the scale of preference. You can see how this one list leads to the other. Huh? Good. We started from wants. Our wants are our desires. They are our wishes. What we wish to get. Although there's this funny joke that if wishes were horses, beggars were also ride on it. That is by the way. But this wants means our desires. But the challenge with our desires is that they are unlimited. They have no end. They are limitless. They are so numerous. They are uncountable. Because as you are satisfying one want, another one is appearing. Am I communicating? Very well. So, we now said, because of this nature, this numerous nature, human want is insatiable, cannot be satisfied all at the same time. It has to be one after the other. And I mentioned that this satiability does not mean you cannot satisfy your want. It means you cannot satisfy all your wants at the same time. I mentioned that scarcity has to do with limited resources, chasing after unlimited want, which is a basic fundamental problem of economy. In fact, that is the essence of studying economics. And that was also stated by Robbins in his definition. Wants, human wants, in relation with the scarce means. But in that conclusion, because of the scarcity of that means, the means there means resources. Oh, look at English. The means in that definition means resources. That scarce means. Robinson was talking about in definition, he's talking about what? The resources. Limited, chasing after unlimited wants. And because of that, you, whether you like it or not, you have to make choice. Choosing between two items or among many items. The one that will give you the best satisfaction. And that's why you need the next one called scale of preference. Scale of preference. The scale of preference. The scale of preference is a table that shows the list of your wants according to how pressing or priority or important they are, how important they are to you. Huh? Because your wants are numerous and because your resources are limited, and these limited resources chasing after this unlimited wants, and you have to make choice. And for the process of making your choice to be easy for you, you have to draw a table, and that table is called scale of preference. And that table shows the list of your wants on how pressing, how important their priority to you, so that you choose the most important thing first. and leave the other one for later time. Once you do that, you have created opportunity cost. The word opportunity cost is talking about a foregone alternative. Foregone alternative. When somebody say alternative foregone, take note. It is the sacrifice you made for your satisfaction. The sacrifice you made for your satisfaction. Your satisfaction is your choice. Your sacrifice is the opportunity cost. So in economics, we say that the opportunity cost is actually the real cost. While this choice is the money cost. You paid for this, the money cost. I hope I'm not confusing you. I said, once you get to the point of making choice, there must be a sacrifice, an alternative. But to make that choice easy for you, you first of all draw a scale of preference. So once you make the choice, what you let, not choosing, is called foregone alternative. The sacrifice you made for your satisfaction. So that your satisfaction is what you choose. What you left behind, the sacrifice, is the opportunity cost. And the opportunity cost, as far as we are concerned, economists, is our real cost. That's the real cost. Why the one you choose is the money cost you paid for. Are you with me? Very well. For instance, you have just 500 naira. You need a notebook as well as, what again? Tell me something. Okay. Notebook and drawing book. Or drawing paper, drawing book, whatever I see. Ordinary notebook, drawing book. This costs, let's say, it costs 350. This costs, let's say, 250 naira. With what you have with you, you cannot afford to buy two of them at the same time. Because adding two of them together is 600 naira. When you have only 500 naira, you just have to do what? Make a choice. If you choose this drawing book, you choose to buy this. So drawing book becomes your choice. What you left behind, notebook, becomes what? The opportunity cost. So for economists, when we are studying our course, we are more concerned about the sacrifice you made, which is your real cost. The sacrifice in your real cost. This is the money cost you paid for this, is your choice. So the opportunity cost is not 350. Please note, the opportunity cost is not 350. The opportunity cost is the notebook. Because your choice is the drawing book. So the opportunity cost is not the price 350, but the notebook. Is that okay? Very well. I don't think my time will permit me. I have some of these I just put together for HOTS. The definition of economics by has been mainly emphasized the study of what? Human welfare, scarcity, choice, wealth creation, human behavior, wealth creation, accumulation. The study of wealth. The father was talking about creating wealth, nature, and wealth of nations. Huh? The economy is what? The study of nature and the wealth of nations. How a nation creates wealth, accumulating it. That's what Adam Smith, daddy of economics, is talking about. Okay? Let's see. Next time. The major weaknesses of the wealth definition of economics is that it ignores production, excludes distribution, emphasizes scarcity too much, neglects human welfare. When you are talking about creating wealth, what about human welfare? What about human wealth? What about human welfare? And when you are creating wealth, what about production? So these two must be considered in the course of doing that. All right? Let's see. So Robinson definition was widely acceptable. Why? Because it recognizes scarcity and alternative uses. Economics as both art and science, it never did that. They want to grab both. Okay? Excuse me. Okay? Wealth as the only economic problem? No. Government intervention? No. The answer is scarcity. Like I said earlier, scarcity. Okay? Scarcity. So the answer for this is D. They neglect the wealth, the welfare. We are talking about wealth. We neglect the welfare of the people. We neglect the welfare of the people. Okay? The definition of economic by Robinson is talking about scarcity and alternative uses. Remember? Let's go. It was Davins. Let's go. Economics is the study of mankind in the ordinary business of life. Who gave this definition? Adrian Cannon, is a period, Adam Smith, Alfred Marshall. Ordinary business of life, Alfred Marshall. Okay? Which branch of economics is mainly concerned with aggregate economic variables? Aggregate economic variables, level economic variables, agricultural economics, macroeconomics, but of course, macroeconomics. You know, macroeconomics is a large economy. Micro is small, consumer, individual, firm. Okay? While comprehensive labor economics is macroeconomics. The study of how income is shared among labor, capital, and entrepreneur is known as what? Distribution. That's distribution. How money, income is shared. One of our economists made that statement. How money, income has been shared. That's distribution of income. Okay? Which of the following is most likely to be studied under public finance? Government taxation policy, consumer behavior, price determination, foreign exchange market. The answer is what? Government taxation. Under public finance, you are talking about how government make policies about tax. That's public finance. You know, taxing is generating income and how to spend it. Okay? That's budgeting. An economist studying the causes of unemployment in a country is mainly concerned with unemployment is under macroeconomics. A macroeconomics. It's not an individual, it's not micro. It's a macroeconomics, not an individual economics. Okay? Economics differs from pure sciences because economic experiments cannot be verified and conducted in laboratory. We don't do laboratory. Involvement in human behavior because we are dealing with human behavior, and human behavior is not predictable. Okay? The expression ceteris paribus is important in economics because it enables economists to what? Eliminate scarcity, conduct laboratory experiment, no. Reduce human behavior accurately at all time. No. This at all time is wrong. Okay? Laboratory, don't do it. You can't eliminate scarcity, it's not possible. So the answer is what? Simplify our analysis by holding factors constant. We assume that if this is this, then that is that. Okay? Which of the following is not a characteristic of pure science when compared with economics? Pure science, when compared with, it's not a characteristic of pure science when compared with economics. Exact relationship between variables, control laboratory experiment, and nothing to do with it. Dependence on assumption, precision in observation. The answer is what? Dependence on assumption. We depend on assumption. Okay? That's why if they are not they based on facts, on experiment in the lab that is generated, then we will depend on assumption, ceteris paribus. One major reason for studying economics is to eliminate human wants completely. Is it possible? No. You can't eliminate completely. Understand the complexity of economics. I mentioned that over and over again. Economics is very complex. Prevent scarcity. You cannot prevent scarcity. You cannot. Abolish inequality. You cannot abolish it. So don't let us waste time. So the answer is what? Understand the complexity of economic activities. Okay? Excuse me. The constant opportunity cost refers to what's opportunity cost? Cost of the next best alternative for God. Now, when you are talking about among other things, more than 2, 3, 4, 5. So the best among the best, that is alternative for God. And that is A. That's what the A is talking about. And that is the money to waste time. Money spent. The money spent is called what? That's your choice. This choice. Total cost of alternatives? No. Value of scarcity? No. Only? No. Which of the following best explains scarcity in economics? Which of these explains scarcity in economics? Human wants are limited. Are human wants limited? No. Human wants are what? Unlimited. Resources are insufficient relative to one. Yes, insufficient. Not enough. Limited. Goods are not useful. Say so. Producers refuse to produce enough goods. You can't say about that. So the correct answer here, resources are insufficient relative to want. That is limited resources chasing after limited one. Economics is regarded as science because it deals exclusively with numerical data. No, not exclusive. Uses both inductive, yes. Produces universally exactly. Depends only on assumption, not only assumption. We also do to verify our data. So uses both inductive and deductive methods. Okay? Something is cut off. Let me reduce this screen. So, okay. A branch of economics that examines wages, employment, and trade unions is known as public finance, labor economics, industrial economics, welfare. That has to do with labor. This is employment, this is wages, and this is trade unions. Everything is about labor. Labor economics. Okay? Let's see the next one. Large and large again. Okay? Which of the following basic concepts of economy directly result from scarcity? Which one came because there's scarcity? If there's no scarcity, there's no need for it. But because there's scarcity, we have to do it. Choice, production, exchange. Choice. We make choice because there's scarcity of resources. The central problem of economics, according to Robbins, is production and consumption. No. Inflation. No. Scarcity and choice. Yes. Demand and supply. No. It's scarcity and choice. Limited resources that lead us to making choice. That lead to what? Opportunity costs. A country balance of payment is studied under what? International trade, public finance, labor economics, money and banking. Of course, international trade. Balance of payment, balance of trade, types of trade, they're all under this. Okay? Now I have a take home for you that you can just practice by yourself. Right? Take home for you. Let me reduce. Find out the importance of each of the basic concepts of economics discussed above. What are these basic concepts we discussed above? 1, we discuss wants. 2, we discuss what? Scarcity. Alright, limited resources. Then we discuss choice. And from choice, we develop scale of preference. And because of that, this one will lead to what? Opportunity cost. So these 5 concepts, please, is your take home. Find out why each one of them is important. Why is want important? Why is choice important? Why is opportunity cost important? Find out by yourself. I hope you have enjoyed this session. Thank you for your time and see you next class.
Hi, I'm sure you enjoyed the video you just watched. To see more content as that, prepare you for your upcoming exam, make sure to smash the subscribe button and turn on notification. Also, remember that you can use the comment section to send us your questions or your inquiries, and we are happy to take them. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.